73. That's right, 73. You were expecting us to be here yesterday, but we could not because Hannah and her crazy schedule where she demanded Thursdays because she's like, yo, man, I got so much going on tonight. So what did you have? What went on last night that was so needing to switch till today because you wanted to include it in the show?
Yeah. So, okay, let's see. I told you on the phone the other day, I didn't talk about this on the podcast, but I had met this guy a few weeks ago and I thought everything was going great. We hung out once, nothing crazy. We planned to hang out again. And then
Right?
he ends up ditching me at this bar to go do other plans when we were literally about to leave to go do something together. And then he's like, actually, I'm going to go do something else. And I was like,
Right. This is the sober guy who told you to come meet him out somewhere and then left with another girl to do something different and was like, what are you going to do?
yeah.
Right. Okay.
Exactly. So I haven't heard from him since, right?
Mhm.
And then yesterday, just I love how small of a world LA is. Yesterday, I see that this guy, Sober Man, and Tequila Man are hanging out, and I said, "Oh, that is just so fun and cute. I love that for me."
Mhm.
I'm like, "Look, I know I'm not the center of attention, but what if they are talking about me?"
Right.
Um, and even if I was talked about, it must have been great because I was at the bar last night and
Barney's?
yes, of course.
Of course.
And honestly, I felt like I was on The Bachelorette. Um, I ran into these two other guys who were taking their turns having conversations and flirting with me, and I was like, what is going on?" And then Sober Man and our other friend show up, and I was like, hey. Anyways, long story short, he was like, so when are we hanging out? And I was like, well, maybe when you don't ditch me. And he made up some excuse, and I was like, yeah, blah blah blah. And anyways, a turn of events, he's like, do you want to come over? And I was weak. I said yes.
So you went over to this dude's house last night.
Yeah.
Did you score? Yeah, nice work. Good job. Way to hold your own. Way to be like, yeah, you know what? He ditched me, so I'm gonna come over and give him the vagina. Nice work, buddy.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna make this man regret not texting me for the last week.
That'll show him. Just the logic behind that is fascinating. So wait a second. You're like, I'll show you. You blow me off. I'm gonna sleep with you.
I couldn't help it. I
All
couldn't help
right.
it.
How was it this morning? Or was there
It was,
not a more? Did you
yeah,
stay over?
yeah,
You stayed over?
yeah. It was fine. He was like, "Oh, what are you doing later?" And I was like, nothing really." And then he was like, "Oh, I'll call you later and see what you're doing." And I was like, "Yeah, sure you will. We'll see."
You don't think you will?
I don't know.
If he
I don't
does,
know.
you're totally fine with it. If he doesn't, you're fine with it.
I'll kind of be like, if he doesn't, I'll be like, what are we doing here? Are we playing this game all over again where I just have to run into you at a bar? And no, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I know he's busy during the day, so I don't know.
You mean he has a job?
No, he, I don't know. He said he had a call around 11 and then he's doing some studio sessions today.
Okay. The studio session's he's like, yo, I'm in the studio, but he actually means he's in a studio apartment or he's actually in.
Yeah, he's in a session.
Yeah, I'm in a session in my kitchen in the studio. That's funny. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations. Good job.
Literally all my friends were texting me this morning, because I have find my my location on Find My Friends with a lot of my girlfriends, and all of them were like, where are you? What are you doing?
That's cool. Well, I mean, I listen, you've been posting a lot more thirst lately, which, to me, it's like there was one yesterday, there was a lot of back. Was that your back with all those tattoos?
No, it was
I thought it was,
you think I have some South Park tattoos on my back?
I don't know, girl. You look like your fingers. You got aliens on your hands and stuff. It's possible. Um,
Yeah, I've got fucking South Park characters on my back. No, it was a picture from a Barney's table.
Barney's. Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
So, but like, okay, in the past, I mean, the constant listener knows that you've been saddish and you've
Yeah.
been whatever. But then all
Yeah.
of a sudden, I start seeing a lot of posts with a lot of skin and a lot of you on the floor looking all sexy in front of a refrigerator, which, artistically, it makes loads of sense. But like, in a reality perspective, like, did she fall? And why is she smoking? She's smoking with the refrigerator door open? Doesn't that contaminate the food? What kind of house does she live in that lets her smoke in it? Like, these are the things that I think, and you're just like, you're on the floor and you're just like, shoulder. And I'm like, okay, cool, I get it.
It was a CBD cigarette, so
Well, either
so
way,
it's fine.
CBD,
Um,
which of course stands for could have bought drugs, could have bought drugs. Um, but
um,
you've been posting a lot of thirst stuff lately. So does that mean you're in a better place?
I think I have been like following this diet for the last 2 months,
Okay.
and I feel like I'm looking more myself again, which in turn makes me have more confidence, which in turn makes some of the voices in my head shut the fuck up. Um, and yeah, so I've been like, if I feel good, I'm gonna post about it.
So how tall are you? Like
I'm
5'1",
4'11 and a half.
4'11 and a half. And so
Yeah.
what is it? What is an ideal body weight for a midget?
Look, my when I'm like really healthy and fit, I'm usually anywhere from like 97 to 103 pounds.
Okay.
Um,
And when you're sad?
when I'm sad, like when I last went to urgent care for one of the numerous random infections I kept getting, they weighed me and I was like 117. And I was like, oh, that is crazy for a small child like me.
Mhm.
Um, but then I finally got a primary care doctor. When I went to see her like a few weeks ago, they weighed me and I was 108. And I was like,
Yay.
score.
That's good. Well, congratulations on your health.
Yeah. So I feel like, I'm trying to tackle it, reel it back in.
Okay, that's good. What's the mood
Yeah.
at Barney's since the horrible, horrible thing happened to the valet
Oh,
parker?
dude. And you know what's crazy? When I used to go to Barney's like
Well,
every single day.
time out. Let me explain to everybody what
Okay.
happened. So
Okay.
there's a longtime valet parker who's the lot attendant at Barney's, and there's only like 12 spaces there, anyways. So he's hanging out. Some shirtless guy was walking by and harassing people in a line, and the valet was like, "Dude, move along, get out of here!" And the guy kicked him with like within an inch of his life. He's in a coma. So it's super sad. This was a really nice
Yeah.
gentleman who'd been around there for a long time. So okay, now what's the vibe at Barney's because of that?
Well, okay. So I used to go to Barney's every single day of my life. The beginning of
Used
this
to. You
year.
were there yesterday. You
Okay, but
still
I
go.
don't go every night though.
You're you
But I used
used
to
to, but you
actually,
still go.
yeah, I still go, but I used to actually go, like I kid you not, every single night.
The Barney's
Um,
is your the den. Just so you know. Just so you know. Okay, go on.
Um, so I used to hate having to worry about parking my car, so I would valet it all the time. Like Frank would always just like be like, "You have such great style." Like he was always so nice to me. Like I would love chit chatting with him. Anyway, so I went last week, well, like one night, and I hadn't valeted my car in forever. So he opens the car door and he's like, "Oh my god, it's been so long since I've seen you. Like, how have you been?" We just like caught up for a second, and he was so nice. And then obviously I see that happened like maybe 2 or 3 days after I had just seen him, and I was like, just like in shock. I'm like, no one does that to my man Frank. Like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
And so when I went yesterday, I was asking one of the servers I know, I was like, how's Frank doing? And they were like, he's better, like he's in a stable condition. And I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
great.
I just can't believe it. And he was like, yeah, like none of us here could bring ourselves to watch the footage. Like it was just so
Oh my
fucked.
gosh, there's footage.
Yeah, there's security camera footage. It's
I don't want.
bad. Like
No
this man is
thanks.
just like kicking him over and over again in the head. And I'm just like,
Did they find the guy?
no, they haven't found him.
Oh my god,
I mean, he looks like he's just like some crazy homeless man.
that's bananas.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll locate him. They're probably pretty good at that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Have you been following this Diddy thing?
Um, I'm not like Like a little bit, yeah. I know he got arrested and they found 1,000 bottles of lube, something like that.
That doesn't surprise me because like he would have sex parties for hundreds of people
Yeah,
and he would drug people and then there
yeah,
was a lot of ass play going on. That's not
yeah,
surprising. It's like so when people are like, "Yo, man, why do you need so much lube?" He was a corporation. He was like a date
yeah.
rape corporation. Um,
I,
I
I went.
think,
I went to Diddy's house once,
yeah,
not for one of those parties,
no, you
but
told me we talked about it. We
yeah.
talked about it on an episode. You barely escaped.
Well, I'm like, thank God it was for his daughter's 5th grade graduation party, and it wasn't anything else.
But so if you're unfamiliar with the allegations, he would have these freak off parties that would be 2 and 3 days long.
Hmm.
And he would have cameras in every single room and he would have all of these police there and famous people and people in high positions and he would have all of these women that he trafficked in having sex with him allegedly and having sex with them and then he would have footage so he would have stuff on all of these people so they could never come after him. So when the DEA finally raided his house months ago and then they didn't arrest him for months after, it was because they were compiling like an airtight case on this guy. He is so fucked.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. He's really between a rock and a hard place. Am I right?
That was a good one.
Thanks.
I'm curious to see, like, is it going to be almost like a Jeffrey Epstein thing where it's like, oh, he committed suicide in jail, so no one will have him release names because there's no way he's not taking down other people with him.
No, there's zero chance. He's going to do everything he can to try to get out of there. But also, if you were that wealthy, that powerful, that successful, and you're about to spend 30 years in prison, or at least, or life in prison, you're probably going to try to kill yourself, or you're going to find Jesus and try to give all your money away, or like,
Yeah.
what do you think? Do you think someone kills him? Because it's street cred immediately in the prison if you kill him because he was raping people allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's either going to try to take down people with him so that they'll be like, he'll be almost like a mole in a way where it's like, okay, give us names of other people you were in this with and we'll give you a lesser sentence, or yeah, some crazy shit will happen to him in jail.
It's bananas. Yeah, I don't know. I think suicide or like, but it also there's also the potentiality that like, what if nothing happens to him? Like, what it's like maybe nothing happens. Maybe he walks. Maybe he skates. Maybe he pays someone off. Maybe who
Yeah.
knows? I mean, it's like you look at like Jeffrey Epstein. They've been talking about releasing that guy's list for years.
Years.
No
Yeah.
one's seeing that list.
And there'll be like fake ones circulating that has like all these names on it, and then people are like, no, it's not real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
0% chance of that. And I mean, the same thing. It's like, oh, there's a list and all these different people are going down. Maybe there is. Maybe there isn't. I mean, like, who knows? It's crazy. Everything is so corrupt. It's so corrupt.
Yeah.
I sent you a link about Carly Gregg,
Hmm.
the 14-year-old who shot her mother
Yeah.
and then shot at her father and attempted to kill her father. Did you read that story or check that out at all?
Yeah, I did. Crazy.
Okay, so if you're unsure of what's happening at home, for the constant listener, Carly Gregg is a 14-year-old girl who started having depression and they put her on Lexapro, and she was a major marijuana user at 14, and she started hearing voices. She was a cutter, self-mutilator. She had a lot of problems going on. They have video of her coming home to her house, looking around. The dogs were there. She shoots and kills her mother 3 times. Then she takes her mother's phone, texts her mother's husband, "Hey, honey, when are you coming home?" Then she texts her friends, "Have you ever seen a dead body before? Do you want to come over? I'm about to put 3 bullets into my dad." And then waits for the dad to come home. Her friend comes over and is like, "Holy shit, you just fucking, holy shit." So she said, "Wait in the backyard. My dad's coming home." So the friend took off. And I don't know how they eventually found her. Oh, no, because then the dad comes home. She tries to shoot and kill the dad. She's unsuccessful, and she gets arrested. When she gets arrested, they're like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "I'm fine." And she said she heard voices in her head. She's been diagnosed as bipolar 2.
Hmm.
They gave her a 30-year. They gave her an offer for a 30-year sentence, and her team kicked it back and said, "No way. We're pleading insanity."
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. What do you think?
I can't fathom, like, I don't know what it would be like if someone actually is like hearing voices in your head. Like, I just think that would be like unfathomable to deal with, but I don't know that I would, like, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know. I don't know anyone personally who's dealt with it or whatever, but I'm like, I just don't know that I would probably like call the cops on myself and be like, I'm having voices tell me to murder somebody. Like, I just don't know that I would be able to do something like that. That's just so insane.
I mean, hats off to successful parents. I mean, because being a parent like now would be so impossible with how, I mean, I'm not saying now, I'm sure it's always been a challenge and it's never probably easy to, I mean, you're raising a human being and trying to teach them correctly, but like, when is enough warning sign if your child is hearing voices and says, I'm hearing voices that are telling me to be bloodthirsty and to go after stuff, and
Yeah.
yet these voices are telling me that I'm better than other people and I'm superior. Well, as a parent, wouldn't you be like, shut it down? Let's get this kid. And then at that point, wouldn't you also be like, maybe let's not have a gun in the house?
Yeah. I mean, I don't even, and not that in danger of anybody else, but I don't trust myself around weapons because I'm like, I deal with depression and whatnot. And I'm just like, I just couldn't, couldn't
Do
trust
you
myself.
are you the type of person when you see a weapon, you're like, I could easily just put this in my head and pull the trigger out of curiosity?
Mm-hmm.
Are you like the type of person when you're on a tall building, you're just like, I want to look over and imagine myself leaping off?
Well, I am terrified. Like, I'm terrified of the of doing any of that. Like, I wouldn't ever want to do that. But then there's like, the intrusive thoughts. It's like, but what if? And I'm like, no, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up.
you gotta shut that down. Like whenever I see, like, have you ever seen like one of those really tall cranes that are on top of a building?
And I'm like, what
I
if it falls on me?
I don't think that. I think, what if I
Oh,
climb up there in a manic state and then I'm hanging and just dangling from this rope? And I'm like,
yeah.
but then I logically talk to myself and I'm like, what would ever, that would never happen. It would
Yeah. Like,
never.
it even like, I mean, I'm going to see a psychiatrist soon, but because there's days where I'm like, should I be back on anxiety meds? Because my anxiety is insane. But there's days where I'm driving now because I used to never have an issue having anxiety while driving. But there's days sometimes where I have to like sit there and like really like talk myself through driving. I'm like, okay, Hannah, like, we're fine, we're safe, we're in the car, you're not going to run into anybody else, like, you're not going to run off the bridge, like, just it drives me nuts. Like, sometimes I get the worst anxiety when I'm on the freeway and I'm like, yeah, it's bad.
Did you ever see the Annie Hall movie?
No.
Okay, there's, first off, I'm well aware that anytime I recommend anything to you, you go, yeah, and then you'll never watch it. But I'm fully aware. Um, the Annie Hall, it's a young Christopher Walken who's playing the brother of
Okay.
Annie, and he's talking to Woody Allen, and he's alone with him. He goes, "Do you ever, when you're driving your car, just get the urge to swerve into the oncoming lane?" And Woody Allen's like, "Yeah, I gotta go. I'm due back on planet Earth." And it's just one of the funniest scenes. Side note, speaking of things that I recommend that you'll never listen to, you should listen to the episode that I did without you here,
I know,
because
I still have to listen to it.
dude, it's so good. I walk you through the manifestation thing that I was talking to you about on the
I
phone last
know.
week. Your mom liked it.
I know. My mom texted me. She's like, just watch the podcast. You need to watch it. And I'm like, I know.
She's not lying. Yeah, but you should watch it. I'm telling you, it's good. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, that's scary. I feel bad for that kid, the family. That's terrible. Like, that's three changed lives and wasted lives forever. Like,
Yeah.
that kid's in jail for the next 40 years. The mom's dead. The husband's
Yeah.
like, fuck, my stepkid's in jail. My wife's dead. Yikes.
Yeah.
And can you imagine the trauma of dealing with the fact that the kid was texting from the mom's phone, when are you coming home, honey? And he was like answering as if he was talking to his wife, and he was
Yeah.
literally talking to a murderer potential. Ah,
I
that's crazy to
couldn't.
me.
I couldn't. Couldn't
Yeah.
deal.
Well, anybody who knows this podcast knows we talk about a lot of shit. So my question is, you're a woman. You spend a lot on you spend a lot of time and a lot of money on your appearance and how you look, and friends and women in general are concerned with their appearance. Was that safe to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, but that, like, some men work out and they're shirtless, and you look at like a TMZ, and it's like shirtless ab pics of this person. But women, for the most part, don't. Do you really care about abs, or like you care about the personality? Do you not? Or
Yeah,
am I
like
wrong?
abs aren't necessarily make or break. You could have you could be the hottest person in the world and have 12 rock hard abs and be a shit person. And it's like, look, as hot as you are, I don't think I can put up with you. But then there's, some people who aren't like that attractive, but have a personality, through the roof. And it's like, no, like that's just it.
So
I mean,
that
abs are like, don't get me wrong. If someone has a great body and they have a great personality, like, chef's kiss, but
sure, yeah.
it's not make or break.
But it's not just about like dick cleavage. You know what I'm talking about? It's like the when you got like the 8-pack, and then they got that other one that looks like a drain.
The
Yeah,
V,
yeah, it
yes.
looks like a funnel. It's like a funnel leading to the penis, and you're just
Yes.
like, holy smokes. But that's what I always laugh whenever I see dudes who are always just like, ugh, and I'm like, just try talking to her. Like, that'd be easier. Just try talking to her.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the times guys like to impress other guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have this friend, this coworker I work with, and he is very into bodybuilding, and we always have conversations about it. And he's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "I'm fully just trying to like max my PR like for the other guys in the gym." And I'm like, "Why?
Who gives a fuck?
Like why?" Like he comes into work with like 12, like a 12-pound fucking chicken and rice meal, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm bulking right now," and I'm like, "That is so great. I love that for you."
I'm bulking right now.
Yeah, it's when you like eat a shit ton of food and then like more than you should be, and you're also still working out, and then after like I don't know 2 months or so of bulking, then it's like, okay, now I'm gonna seriously be in a calorie deficit while still working out like crazy, so that all that fat that you just gained now turns into crazy muscle, so that your muscle gets bigger.
But is that something that you would say that you find important in a guy?
No, like I mean, I'm not into guys who bodybuild or who have like crazy, insane bodies, like Zac Efron in that new in that wrestling
Wrestling?
movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, ew, like that
Okay.
is gross.
Okay. All right. Is there a physical part of a man that does it for you? Because I know you don't like skinny jeans, or if you can see a man's legs, you flip out. He's got to wear like, big pants. But like, so
I'm like,
is
are
it,
you taking notes to remember all this?
yeah, I'm working on it. This is my angle. No, I'm just saying, I'm a human being. We're friends. But so if you're like, what's important to you? Like, a physical
um,
part of him. Personality is obviously important. The person
yeah,
being nice, all of the great things. But like, what physical thing do you look at on a guy where
I
you're
don't
like,
know. Definitely, I mean, a good style, good teeth, like a nice
okay, so
smile.
I'm just physical things. Style has nothing to
Okay,
do with
okay,
it. So teeth,
whatever. Yeah, teeth are nice.
hands,
Um,
ears, elbows, bust. No, you said it's not muscles.
um,
Teeth.
yeah,
Teeth are important.
teeth, yeah, their smile. Sometimes hair can be a really big thing too. Hair can really change the look on somebody.
Right on. So hair and
Um,
teeth.
yeah, and like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've definitely been with many different looking guys. So
I mean, there's all women are. I mean, there are
yeah,
like it's like like you go back to the old Joe Jackson song. She's like, is she really going out with him? Like it's like,
yeah,
pretty women out walking with gorillas on my street. It's like it's common. It's like, I mean,
yeah.
there's many people who see me with Michelle and they're like, what? And I'm like, she likes Santa. What do you want me to do? So it's like everybody has their thing. Um, my thing is the girl has to be tiny. Like that's my thing. Like she's got to be
Yeah,
small. It's got to be a
yeah.
small thing. I don't know why it is, but hey, Also, I love the fact I still love that your approach to succeeding was blow me off, leave with another woman, come back with a guy I used to be sleeping with, and then have
No,
some
he
terrible.
wasn't with the guy I was sleeping with. I'm just gonna say that.
I thought
But
you said he was with Tequila Guy.
earlier in the day, they weren't at the bar together, though. That would have really thrown things for a loop.
Okay, all right, that would have been. Oh my God, would you have had a threesome with Tequila Guy and New Guy? They're not cousins. You totally would have. You absolutely would, just to show them. Just to show them. you,
Oh my God.
you don't have to answer because I know. Because I know. All right. This is great. I love that. It's always a good episode when we're only on like the third topic, and there's like so many more to go. What food items must you have in your place at all times?
Well, look, I suffer from various eating disorders and I cannot keep a lot of food in my home.
Okay.
Recently, though, I've been keeping frozen blueberries, some nut granola, and some crackers and dairy-free cheese. Those are my snacks if I need a snack.
Good for you.
Otherwise, I do have things I can use to cook. Like I've got some eggs, I've got some tofu, I've got some other things in my fridge.
But there's like you always there's like not one specific item you always have to have in the house.
Hot sauce.
Okay, that's an answer. You have to have
Yeah.
hot sauce.
Always hot sauce.
Next time
Chick-fil-A sauce.
So you like spicy stuff.
I love spicy.
Girl, I make this pepper salad
Yeah.
that Michelle and I are obsessed with. I'll have to, next time I see you, I'll have to give you some to take home. It is jalapenos, habanero,
Okay.
red, yellow, green, orange peppers, all peppers.
Yum. I love peppers.
Red hot chili peppers.
Okay.
Yellow chili peppers.
Okay.
Black olives. Kidney beans.
Yummy.
And feta cheese with a little bit of oil and vinegar.
This sounds right up my alley.
Oh no, I know. I knew you'd love it. I'm just telling you, it's so fucking good. So we always have to have pepper salad because it's like every Monday or Tuesday we'll like meal prep it for the week, like a big huge bowl, and it's the go-to. And then
I love beans. I love peppers. I love olives.
Yep.
And I love all of that.
And then I throw walnuts in it too, just because I'm bananas.
Yum.
Okay. And I also have to have ranch dressing because Michigan. Let's see. Okay, so this I'm afraid to ask this question.
Okay.
I'm just horrified to ask you this question based on the events of last night. What is a perfect date for you? Like I don't know if we can do this. I don't know if we have time.
Okay, look. Perfect, like short and simple. Take me out to dinner. Take me out to dinner.
Okay.
Wine and dine me.
Okay.
And then I don't know, maybe go to like a nice lookout view, like Griffith Park or something, and sit there and chit chat, and then maybe go to a bar afterwards. I don't know.
Okay, so drinking and driving. It's very important to you. I can see that.
No.
Take me out, wine me, dine me. Yeah, Uber. Okay, all right. So all right. So okay, this is a great question. How long have you known in periods of time, like a week? How long did you know sober guy? Just
how long have I known him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Like 2 weeks, maybe.
2 weeks. Okay. I just want you to be aware of what's happening here. Okay. If a guy takes you out and you guys hit it off, it's your first date, and he wines you and dines you, and then he takes you to Griffith Park and you chit chat, and then afterwards you go shoot pool or go to a bar and you have a great time. How long from bang to bullet, from start to him having sex with you? Is it that night if everything's going great, or is it like you don't do that on the first date, or is it a couple of dates? I mean, like whatever you answer is totally normal. Could it be a first date situation?
I've definitely fucked on the first date, even though I used to tell myself like, no, I won't. It's always happened. Now I try to really restrain myself. Like Tequila Man, I made that man wait. Um, um, yeah, I was weak last night, so
Okay, just in case anyone is listening, if you are just there's a quote by Robert Evans, and the quote by Robert Evans, famed movie producer, produced The Godfather, Chinatown, tons of stuff. He says, "Any man who thinks he understands the mind of a woman knows nothing at all." So to review, I said, Hannah, what is your perfect evening? You said, take me out, wine and dine me. Afterwards, take me to Griffith Park so we can do stuff. Then take me to a bar, and then that's the perfect evening, and then we're hanging out. I want you to know, and then maybe or maybe not on that date, there will be success. And a dude who does not drink, a dude who did not take you out, the dude who blew you off and left with another woman, sees you at a bar, who does not drink, and then you sleep over, and then he's like, what are you doing tomorrow? Oh, cool, I'll call you and see what you're up to. Not plans, not plans. I'll call you and see. And you're just like, I showed him. Oh my God. Oh my God. You sure did. I bet. I bet you hooked up with him in the morning too, just to really teach him a lesson.
I didn't.
Oh God. You're fascinating. If you don't clip this, I'm telling you, dude, you're bananas. If you don't clip that right there, because it's the greatest thing ever. I hope that didn't embarrass you. It's just so funny.
I just like I can't have anyone I know see this.
Okay, so you're
I'll
not
be in deep doo doo.
okay. All right, I'll rapid fire the rest. But you have to admit that's funny as fuck, dude.
No, it's hilarious. Sometimes I'm just I can't hold my own word.
I love that you are on a podcast that you refuse to tell any of your friends about.
My girlfriends know. They know what's happening.
Do they
But,
ever
like,
listen? It's a good
yeah.
show.
Yes, no,
They
I have
know?
I have they do. I have a few girlfriends that do listen. But I talk so much shit about
You
guys.
never mention any names. Everyone's safe. You never mentioned one person.
It's so obvious though. You have definitely
Not
outed who Tequila Man is before.
well, yeah, it wasn't hard. I mean, you give me, you're like, well, and his sister Kaya. Oh, okay. Oh,
Stop.
yeah.
Too far.
Too far. You said it. Anybody can check back and listen. I don't even know if we need to do anything else. This is great. I can save this rest of these topics for next week. But yeah. So October 11th, I'm in Michigan. I'm in Lake Orion at the Wildwood Amphitheater. You can get tickets at orion.events. When is your mom coming to town? Because I have to get a show. What are the days?
October 2nd, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4. Okay. I have to get a show on then. And are you going to come to the show, or is she just coming?
Duh, I'm going to come. The hell?
Okay. So you have all 3 days off to hang out with her?
Yeah.
All right, you should get up on stage and do a song with me. Don't fucking be weird. Just do it. One, I'll do the whole show, and then you'll come up and do one.
Okay.
She'd be thrilled.
Yeah.
I'll be thrilled. It'd be great. All right, and say the thing that you say at the end.
Listen to this wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment down below what you would love to hear us talk about next.
Yeah, like, subscribe, follow. We're up to 131 followers on YouTube. That's awesome. It keeps going up. We're going to keep going up. It's going to be great. We'll see you next week. And Jessica Lee Mayfield is rescheduled for 2 weeks from now. And guys, anybody who wants Hannah to teach them a lesson, she pretty much walked you through how to do it on this show. We'll see.